so cute.
I put him in my lap.
You want him in your lap?
I'm gonna do it.
Gentle. Good job. Hey everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. As I'm sure you saw from our intro this morning, it has been Chick Week. So this week we are going to talk everything about this new method that we have been trying for hatching, so you can follow along kind of on our journey this spring with hatching chicks and how that's going. So this video is a bit grim. It ended up not as good as we hoped with the new incubation method that we tried. So bear with us. It's a learning experience, and hopefully you guys can learn something from it. As well. Quick update on our girls. They are less than a month away from their due dates now. So we're getting right to the end. They're nice and wide, still goopy. Some of them are starting to make a bag. Just means that they're making milk, starting to fill up for anticipating the kids coming. So they're doing really, really well. The weather is starting to warm up, so hopefully the weather will be nice and warm for kidding. Little birdie mama is doing so good. Look at how cute they are. She's still got 6 healthy little pumpkins in there. So a little turkey update. We got rid of one of the boys, so we're down to the 2 toms, which is still plenty of tom power for 4 hens. Simon is still more of a decoration. Yes, you're very pretty. Oh, you're a pretty boy. And we got our other one there. He has had a sore foot, but on examination, there's nothing I can find. He's still liking to puff and display, and so I honestly think it's just he's really cold, because it's been really cold. So we'll see how he does when the weather warms up. Now, I wanted to show you a turkey nest. So this worked awesome. The turkeys love it. I have it so I can easily open, but they bury their eggs. Should find 2, but there might only be 1. So they bury them and hide them inside the straw. Hey, there's nothing in there. They just fluffed the straw over for me to get me excited. I'm a little late today coming to feed, so I'm sure once they get their tummies full, they'll be over here to lay. We've been getting consistently 2 turkey eggs a day. If not 2, then at least 1. So they've been doing really eggs good. Is a huge passion of mine. I've been doing it for, this is I think the 4th or 5th spring. And it is always a time that I'm always really excited about and really love, but something I haven't perfected or mastered yet. There's a lot of things to consider when you're doing hatching eggs. With the traditional method, which most people do, traditional hatches, you just follow the instructions of the incubator, keep your temperature between 99.5 and 100 Fahrenheit, and keep your humidity at whatever they tell you. Usually it's between 50 to 60%, and then crank it up and keep it around 70 for hatch. So we're trying to go away from traditional because I've never had good success with it. So I've been trying this year to do some experimenting and find what works for our area. Traditional method doesn't take your climate into consideration, doesn't take your altitude into consideration. It just is traditional. You just do that standard. For some people, it works awesome because they might be in a climate or in an altitude that works really well with that. But for us, traditional just has never worked well in the past. And I always had about 50%, between 50 to 70% hatch rates, which is not good. So obviously this hatch did not go well, which you guys are going to find out. But it was just figuring out what worked and what doesn't. So we're going to need to make some adjustments for these next hatches to see if we can get better hatch rates and really work on figuring out what works best for us. Hatching eggs in the winter is not ideal. It is really hard because the climate changes. We started out this hatch with temperatures outside hovering around 0 and not getting very cold at night. And now we ended up in the last stint dropping significantly back down into the minus 25 range. So even though that doesn't affect the house temperature too much, the air pressures have changed significantly. And so it's all things that need to be taken into consideration. So with this method and everything I'm going to be showing you now, it's called the stack hatch method. And so it is not something I came up with. It is not my method whatsoever. It is a method that I am trying to see if it works. And for the most part, it actually worked really, really well in that all of the chicks made it to hatch. I think we had 7 eggs that did not make it to hatch day. And then with humidity issues, it just went downhill. So I'll show you guys all of this and everything that's happened in the last 3 weeks. All right, yesterday I did the first 8 in each incubator. So now it's time to do today's next set of eggs to continue filling it up for the 5 days. So every day I collect the eggs fresh, try to get them while they're warm. So I'm going out 3 times a day to make sure that I'm getting them while they're still nice and warm since it's January and cold. So you can see these eggs are now marked 31. Today is the 31st. And I have them all set out to complete this outer row. And I did the exact same thing on this side so that they are complete on that side. And tomorrow we fill the middles. All right, there we go. Inside circle plus 2 on this outer ring. And that is day 3. So today is day 4. We will be putting in some more eggs. These ones are fresh from the coop. These ones were still warm. So I'm gonna go ahead and just add them. I'm missing a couple, but I'll just go out later in the day and add them when the time comes. So I'll show you this. Today we're actually going to have to start this outside ring, so it might get a little bit more interesting. All right, starting to look crowded in there. We still have 1 row to go and 1 more day. So here we go. On this side. They're marked each with a different pen or marker to make it easier for me to know which ones are which for when we switch them around for hatch. The humidity and temperature is still adjusting from adding those last eggs, but I'm trying to keep the humidity between 25 and 30% because that's where I've been having good luck. So today is day 5 with the incubate. We are going to fill them up all the way as full as they get with this method. So I'll show you what it's like when I get them all full after I get these eggs in here. So Got them all in there. There does look like I possibly could have added even more, but the method says to do 40 max in the NR360s so that there's room for the chicks when they hatch. So there's quite a few gaps in here still. The numbers are quite visible, so I know where they are. So for anyone wondering, or if you missed it before, this is the stack method. So you're stacking the eggs as if they would be like in a nest with a hen. They're just mismatch all over the place, stacked together. So with this method, there is no turning. So the turners are turned off in the incubator, but we leave the turning tray in so that I can set the eggs in and it holds them still for me. So anyone who's worried about me opening the incubators the way I did, my hens, they also will jump off their nests and leave when they go get food and water and such. So opening the incubator all the way today to do that was not a big problem because it happens in nature anyways. So made sure I was getting it done quickly. There is 40 eggs in each of those incubators to fill all of our orders for February. So that is why I chose to do the stack method, because you can do quite a bit more and it's supposed to be a lot more natural and have better hatch rates in the end. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this method worked, and I will continue to let you guys know how it all ends. So yesterday was day 10, which was the first day of candling, and I missed it because we were busy. So I'm going to candle yesterday's day 10 eggs and today's day 10 eggs and do their switch around. So we'll see how many we've got developing in there. I had none to remove. They all developed. This incubator, I removed 2. I have issues with some of my Easter eggers being very porous, and I had 2 very porous eggs that don't look like there was development, so I removed 2, and we had 1 casualty, which looks like it was early stages of development. So it happens, unfortunately. I like to open up the eggs that didn't do well so that I can see what's going on inside them. So I've got these 2 here in a cup. This one was an Americana pullet egg. She'd already been laying for a couple weeks, so I wanted to go ahead and just put it in and see. This egg, when candled, didn't look like it was fertile. And it wasn't. Here. If you can see on that egg, there's a little white dot, and it does not appear to be fertilized. So, next we have this one. This is from one of my older girls. This is an Americana crossback. So it's technically a green egg. When candled, it was very porous, and you could see all the pores in this egg. Oh, very interesting. That was a double yolk. I only had 2 eggs, and now we've got 3 yolks in here. So that would be why that egg didn't develop. So, always very neat. If I had just chucked that egg, I never would have known that there was 2 yolks in it. There. That older hen has just started to lay again, so I'm thinking that is probably why we've got a double, because they usually get some funky things when they first start. So it's time to do another candle and flip with the eggs. We have to do this daily for 5 days because the eggs were put in 5 different days. So time to do it again. Hopefully I'm going to be a lot more careful now that I've done it once and I kind of know what I'm doing, to make sure that we don't have any eggs rolling on the floor again. So I had just this one that didn't look like it developed at all, so I'm gonna crack it and see. You can see there's some veins, so this one did try to start developing and then must have died off in the early stages, so the yolk is all yucky. Today I found the easiest way was to remove a couple of eggs, and then it made it so much faster if I removed a few quickly and then did it, especially this incubator, since no eggs have left it. It's still 40 in it, so it's quite full.
Okay, it's on. Go ahead.
All right, this is this is the last day that I have to candle and swap around eggs. All right, 30 and 31 need to be on the top. So today I'm candling 3 and 2. That one is not. That egg is open. Day 3s will hatch last, They were the last eggs put in. So make sure all the 3s are in the middle. There we go. Next after that is the day 2s, which I got along the edge here. Then the day 1s, and then all of the 30s and 31s will hatch first. So I need to make sure that all of the 30s and the 31s are on the top so that they have room to move when they come out. This is a 32. So 30 there. This one I have a question mark on, so we'll go ahead and candle it again and see if there's been any improvement. No, this egg has died. It should have been further along. So we'll just keep it out. Then we have more room for these guys. So all my 30s and 31s are in position because they will hatch first. So that incubator is done. So I didn't film this incubator because I did the exact same thing. This one though, I did leave the 3s and the 2s on the bottom and the 1 in the middle because I want to see if it makes a difference during hatch, because when they hatch, I can add new eggs to it at the same time. So I wanted to see kind of how that process would make it easier. This incubator in total now, after 5 days of candling, lost 1 egg out of 40. There's 39 still in here, and I removed 2 from this incubator. This incubator, the air cells appear to be a little bit smaller than the other incubator, but the humidity has been reading lower. So I think that this incubator, the hydrometer on here might be a little bit off. So I'm going to leave this one and not add any more water. And then this one is fine too, so I'll just leave it alone. And this incubator has never been ran before. This one, I've ran it twice. So I don't know if maybe that's what the difference is. But this one still, I only removed 2 more. I removed 2 today. I think I've removed 6 total from this whole incubator out of 40 eggs, so that's not too bad. Some of those, the eggs had, they were too porous, so that's not too bad actually. So I'm pretty impressed. So it is currently 7 o'clock in the morning, and it is time to run out and check on that mama hen. Looks like everything's fine. I can't see any chicks on the ground, so I'm going to gather her up and get her into her spot. She's being an awesome little mama. I counted 7. Lots of little black. I did count 7, so hopefully she gets them eating and drinking, and I know she is very hungry and dehydrated too, so I'll check them back in a little bit. I'm going to check her nest and see if any of these are alive and still moving. And if they are, I'll give them to the other mama over here. So today is day 21, but I have a bad habit of putting eggs in incubators at night. So there's only some pips, no chicks, because they won't technically be a full 21 days until tonight. But let me see if I can get, I know that egg over there, the blue one is pipped. There's a green one in there somewhere that's pipped. You can hear chirping coming from the incubator today. Sorry, all you're getting is the reflection of my phone. You can see that guy there and this blue one here. So things are happening today. What is it, Bobo? Are there chickies? Woke up this morning to 7. There's a couple in here and in here. And tons of pips and tons starting. A lot of the first eggs that I put in are not hatching, so I don't know why or what happened because they're all in the same incubator. But lots happening. This little guy hatched by himself. I gave him a friend from the other incubators, but it doesn't seem to keep him any quieter. Here he is. Our first little chick. It's a little Easter egger. He's pretty cute and very noisy. We're gonna get him in this brooder box. They're just so cute. It has been a very stressful week. We have been struggling. Our humidity was a bit too low in the end, even though the air cells were looking good in the beginning. So we have been struggling with hatch issues. We have lost at least 50% of our eggs. So I'm going to show you guys what it's looking like right now, and it's a bit of a war zone, so just be prepared for that. So I've got a couple chicks left in here still that are drying off. These eggs are all new eggs that I put in yesterday to start all over again. And I've got a lineup here of eggs that are pipped or trying to hatch. You can see there's shells everywhere from everybody. This is my pile of shell and everything that I needed to, that's olive oil in there, to assist with hatching, because I have had lots that have not been able to get out themselves. So we've got this one here. You can see his little beak there moving. He's still absorbing some blood. That's what the other ones are all doing there. They are all alive, absorbing. They were unable to break through the shell because of the humidity issues. So we are just waiting for them to absorb everything, and then I'll be able to help them get through the membranes. You can see this chick here as a perfect example. You can see him, he looks like he's eating something, or you can see his mouth moving. That is a reaction that they do when they're still absorbing their yolk and their blood supply from the egg. So this one is still absorbing, so we will leave him until everything is done. This one is at a later stage. There's not nearly as much. The membrane I've already pulled away from him, but you can still see he's absorbing his yolk, and inside the egg there is still some yolk. So we are just going to leave him alone for now. So these ones should hatch today or tonight with my help, because I've already had to intervene. These ones I haven't had to intervene as much. I just checked everybody. I removed all of the dead ones, and so this is all that's left. This brown egg and this blue egg, I'm not 100% sure if they are alive, but I left them in there with a breather hole, you can see on the brown egg, so that if they are alive, they at least have oxygen so that they can get through the shells. And then this egg, I'm not 100% sure is alive or dead yet either, so I wanted to make sure that I give it a lot of time to hatch if it would like to. I wanted to go over all these tools here and explain this a little bit more. So I've got my water bottle there, so that's to fill the incubators up after I've been fiddling. So I was opening this incubator, added some water to make sure that the humidity stays up nice and high for them. Same with this one, I just added some more water to it, and you can see it climbing there so that they kind of stay stabilized even though I've been opening them. So with the pile of shells, that's from peeling them back to help just help the chicks get out. There's also some shells in here from just removing from inside there. Q-tips, when you're helping assist a chick hatch, you have to watch, because if you nick one of the veins, it bleeds. So that's what the Q-tips are for, is just to stop bleeds so that we can safely get our chicks out. The screw is for making the hole in the eggs. So you can see on this blue one here, I have cracked it for it because the chick was unable to get out. Just humidity issues. So the screw is you just very lightly, just enough to poke into the egg because the shells are quite tough. This is my little cup of olive oil so that I can moisten the membranes. So with these guys here, I use that olive oil to coat the membranes to keep it nice and moist so that I can work with it. It's a natural oil, so it's not any harm to the chicks, and it just keeps things lubricated, and it makes it easier for me to see what's happening too. So that is how the hatch is going so far.
Uh-oh.
Is he crawling off? He's having fun. It's okay. It's okay. We'll put it back. Yeah.
I'm gonna hold it.
No, I got it. What do you think? Is that one of our chickies? him, Bobo? Good job, Bobo. What do you think? Yeah. Nothing like little chickie snuggles in the morning. Been 35 chicks. We've had 10 go to one home, 15 today, so lots of chicks are still hatching and going to their new houses. So we are loving them. The kids are having a blast with their new little babies. What do you think, Bobo? What do you think?
Fish.
So it's still encouraging to have some little ones, and as everything, it's a learning curve, and we have lots more to learn about these little chickies. That is all for today. As always, we hope you guys learned something new. If you are not already, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button below so that you can follow our channel and see our videos every week so that you can keep learning about farming and homesteading and everything that we have been up to. See you guys next week.